I can try egg. Because you boil it. It's even better because there's no onion in the house. Onion. Eh? Hmm? No, but you know I like putting onion.
Hi, Bola.
Hello. Right. Hello, everybody. Can you all hear me now?
Hi, Bola.
Hi. Sorry about that. My system, it's one serious high-tech system. It's got like 3 microphones, 3 speakers built in one. Sometimes it just switch itself over and over to all sorts of different kind of things. But notwithstanding, thank you for making me to understand that there's no audio, because I've literally passed on some huge crucial message from the beginning. But notwithstanding, can you hear me now? If you can hear me, can you type 111 into the chat room? Great, 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 great. So moving forward. Thank you so much, Nish. Thank you, Serena, for joining in. Ada, thank you for joining in. Amanda, Benurin, Edward, Melinda, NP, who is NP again? Patrick, Respect Sunday, and Obi God's Power. All right, so today what I really want to do for us is I want us to delve into harmonics, right? I believe if you are a newbie, thank you so much, Nish. No problem. See you when you come back. There's recording. If you are a newbie, kindly send me your trading experience, because what I want to delve into today is just going to be pure harmonics, right? It's going to be pure harmonics. So if you haven't got a clue or got a bit of understanding of harmonics, I know it might be challenging, all right? But you start to learn something in a day, all right? So this might be your first time of learning and understanding harmonics, all right? So we look into all sorts of different kind of strategies, but we look into harmonic strategies as well, which is cool, which is a reversal strategy, okay? Harmonic is a reversal strategy, and we look into that as well, all right? So that we can know when the market is likely going to turn, and then where the market is gonna turn into, all right? So that's why we look at harmonic. It's so essential for you to understand how it works, and then obviously it will help you going forward. There are so many strategies when it comes to trading, okay? Well, I'm just concentrating on some few strategies that we've been using in our group, and let you just have a key understanding of what is put together that makes a sensible harmonic pattern. All right. So as you can see, we've got a couple of patterns. But before I go forward, yeah. But what they do, I have no clue. Okay. All right. Thank you. Someone said mute everyone. So let me know if the feedback is better now. Is the feedback better? All right, great. If the feedback is better, I'm just going to delve into this quickly. I was trying to show you the world population, right? So that you can see that the way that we are increasing, okay? You can see the way that we are growing new births and then the deaths at the same time, the way that things are literally moving so fast in the world now times, how we are giving birth, how we are dying, how we are waking back up and stuff like that. And as you can see, we are growing, right? We are growing more than how we are dying, okay? My screen is not showing, seriously. All right, how about now? Is the screen showing now? The screen should definitely be showing. Let me do this first of all. Can you see my screen now? At least a part of my screen. All right, I want to do a full screen show as well. All right, 1 second. Okay. All right. So what I was saying to us is we are having an increasing population growth, all right? And those increasing population growth, at least today, 97,000 more people we need to eat, whether we like it or not. Very soon it's going to become 100,000, all right? Depends on what part of the food chain that you position yourself. That's what is going to determine your sustainability in the long run. And the part of the food chain that you're going to position yourself will now depend on the kind of skills that you can acquire. It depends on you. You know, it depends on how hungry you are, how you really want to achieve, how you really want to have an impact in this 7.7 billion. You know, you cannot have a small dream, okay? You cannot have a little goal, all right? Especially when it comes to this field where you are. Your goal, your dream has to be magnificent, all right? If not, there's no need. What's the purpose of coming down to the art plane anyway? If you do not have a very serious, magnificent goal that will have an impact on these 7.7 billion people that most of them are still even going to suffer anyway, all right? So, but if you gain these skills, it's the skills that you can take along with you that you can use it to bless so many other people. So take note of that, all right? We are going 1 billion, and you're going to be surprised that I said that to you, and you're going to see how the journey is going to unfold. All right, so going back to harmonics, all right? So I know that you know the patterns. I know that thank you so much for watching my back for me Sunday, right? I know that you know the patterns, but you do not have a clue what the pattern does, all right? So what the pattern does is it's a reversal pattern, okay? The harmonics signals reversal in the market, all right? So it's an early reversal pattern that signals reversal in the market, all right? So it can be signaling reversal on a longer time frame, okay? And at the same time, it can be signaling reversal on a very short time frame. What that means is this. So say, for example, we've got a particular chart. Just before this, let me look for possibility of loading up a new chart that's not going to have indicators. Let's see whether this one hasn't got any indicators. If it does, right, so this hasn't got much of any indicators anyway, which is good. All right, so I'm going to go on DXY on this. All right, so and that's the US dollar index. Okay, so this is a perfect chart, no much of anything. All right, so So I'm saying for you who do not understand what harmonic does, it's a reversal pattern, okay? If you have any question on that, let me know. A reversal pattern that can show us that when this market is going up, is there any sense of the orders are possibly over congested in certain zone, and then it's a good time for price to really rebalance itself by literally dropping, okay? So that's what it does. So for example, this chart, you can see that it's going up. If you have an harmonic present on this chart, then probably you can locate a particular zone around this chart that will tell you that something is going to turn. All right. So say for example now, how do I locate my harmonic? First of all, I want to look for what is called a M-shape harmonic if I'm looking for a bullish reversal, okay? If I'm looking for a bullish reversal, I'll be looking for what is called an M-shape harmonic, all right? And that M-shape harmonic can come in form of any M like this, all right? Which means my D point is going to be somewhere here, all right, at the bottom, and I'm looking forward for price to, in fact, literally, 1 second, to, in fact, literally start going up in this direction, okay? All right, so if I adjust this a little bit, I can move this like this. In fact, I can, right, so look at your chart, and then this is the direction in which you are expecting price to go, all right? So you can have an M shape like that, and at the same time, you can have another M shape like this, all right? And I want you to tell me the difference between this M shape. So now that you know that an M shape is for bullish harmonic, let's use a particular tool to look for that, all right? So you can have an M shape like that. Right? This does not necessarily have to be an harmonic, but I'm just showing you what you are looking for, okay? So as you can see, 1 second. All right. Come on, stop being naughty. Right. So this is what I wanted to achieve. I want to move this away from here so that we can have our own playground or a much more better place to work with. All right. So what this means is you are expecting price to form a shape like this, okay? And then start to go up, which is going to be an M shape. And at the same time, this is the same thing that you are seeing here. 1 second. All right. So I'll explain to you what that invariably means as well. All right. Let me a second. Sometimes you just have to struggle through this to be able to move it. All right. So this is one M shape, which means at the same time, we are looking for price to go up like this. You might still not understand what that means, okay? But what I'm going to do for you again is I'm now going to make it bigger, all right? The same M shape, all right? Coming like this, okay? Going like that, going like that. So what that means is this. You are looking for possibility of price to do this. You are looking for possibility of price to do this. One second. All right, leave me alone now. So what I want to achieve with this is settings, weak, borders. Borders, black, can do, green. candle red. Okay. So let's assume this is your price feed for one particular reason. 1 second, please. Border green, border red. Okay, and then the particular chart pattern. All right. So, okay. So let's assume this is your price moving up, and then price move down, and then price retrace up again, and then price retrace down. Then the next thing that you are expecting with this is for price to move up. Okay. So price would have possibly give you a upward move, all right, and then a retracement down to a particular level, and then you will now see that particular level. You will now have a retracement of this one again, and then obviously you have an extension of it can be an extension of this level down to here. I will re-explain that so that you can understand. Okay, I'll re-explain that so that you can understand. Let me find another place for you to understand that. So going forward, this is what I'm going to do for you to get that clear, because obviously we got the chart there and we can use it. All right. So what I'm now saying in essence is this. I'm looking at this chart. I'm going to be looking for an M shape. Okay. That M shape, what that means to me is I'm looking for possibility of reversal. I'm looking for possibility of reversal if I'm looking for a bullish pattern, all right? If I'm looking for a bearish pattern, however, I'll be looking for something like this. I'll be looking for something like this on the chart, which can be like that, all right? And that is my harmonic for what? Another reversal that's going to go down like that. So it can be like this as well. I can be looking for this. I can be looking for this particular pattern, all right? And which means I see one price to come down. The difference between these two is look at this W shape. You can see that the first move that comes all the way from up to the down part, all right? And this particular retracement, okay, and this particular level is not on the same level as this. This is a little bit higher than this level over here, all right? But look at this one, all right? This move, however, give me a second. Right. For this move, this level here is literally higher than this level. So you can have an harmonic that's shaped like this, all right, which means the C is a little bit higher than the A level, all right? And then you can have an harmonic that shapes like this, which means the A is a little bit higher than the C level, okay? So there are only two patterns that goes like this. And the same is true for this harmonic pattern as well. The same is true for this harmonic pattern as well, because you can have another harmonic pattern like this for the bullish one that goes like that, that goes like that, that goes like that, and comes like that, all right? So in this case, you can definitely see that for your harmonic pattern, leave me alone now. You can definitely see that for your harmonic pattern, you have a move that went above this peak level, okay? You have a move that goes above this peak level. You have, in this case, you have a move that stays below this peak level. So you can get patterns that looks like this, and you can get patterns that looks like that. All right, so let's look at what is coming up briefly, okay? So what I'm now saying in essence is this. When you have a W-shaped pattern, okay, a W-shaped pattern, that is a reversal pattern that you're gonna be looking for a bearish move down, okay? You're gonna be looking for a bearish move down. When you have an M-shaped pattern, you're gonna be looking for a bullish move up. You're gonna be looking for a bullish move up, all right? So going forward, there is history to everything, okay? There's a gentleman called Scott Carney. He's actually the one who started to piece this together, all right? And what Scott is trying to do is this. He's trying to look for what we call commonality in the market, okay? what it's literally trying to do is this. It's trying to look for zones in the market where the same thing repeats itself, where the same thing occurs over and over again, okay? And then it started to realize that when you actually put Fibonacci tools together and then certain coordinates on that Fibonacci tools are literally looking in the same direction, they are heading in the same direction, or they are retracing together and forming a particular pattern. Look at this particular pattern that I want to show you now, okay? So if price goes all the way from here to here, can you see that this price literally go down? Can you see that the price moved down? Is it clear that this price moved down? Are you there with me? Can you see that price move down like this? Can everybody see that clearly? Right, so price moved down like this. Can you see that price move up again like that? All right, but what you are now seeing is when this price moved down like this, you got a retracement, which means the same price from this level to this level move all the way down like this, but you got a retracement that move up to this level. The reason why this is a retracement of this move is because it did not actually at first move all the way higher past this level. So you are checking a level like this. Okay, let me show you. You are looking at a level like this. Let's put an horizontal line here, okay? And then you are looking at this level at the same time, which is where the price moved down to, okay? And then now this is what you are looking for now. You are now looking for, a particular move like this, okay? It doesn't matter whether it moves in a straight line or not, all right? You are now seeing another retracement like that, okay? It doesn't matter whether it moves in a straight line or not. So what I've seen, or what we've seen over here, is we've seen a retracement of a particular move. We've seen a retracement of this move from here to here that retraced back to this level, okay? Because it didn't move higher past all this level, it is a retracement currently, okay? Then what we want to see is this again. Now, because we have a retracement of the move from here to here that ends here, now we want to see what is going to be the retracement of the move from here to here, and where is it going to end. So the retracement of this upward move, all right, first of all, we check the retracement of the downward move, all right, which ends itself here. Now we want to check the retracement of this move from here to here and see where it ends. You can see that the retracement of that one ends here. Can you see that as well? Can you see where it ends? It doesn't have to be on a straight line. Can you see that at all? Yeah, all right. So now you've checked the retracement of this move from here to here, which ends here, okay? Now you are now checking the retracement of this move from here to here, which ends here, okay? And then now you are looking for what? You are now looking for how the next move that you are looking for now is this. You are now looking for the retracement of this to here, which ends here, all right? You are now looking for possibility of an extension of this move from here to here, which we go all the way up there. Let's assume that this is an harmonic right there, yeah? We're just assuming. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's an harmonic, but that's all you are looking for in the market. 1 second. This tool sometimes can make me go nuts, but yeah, it's all good. All right, again, leave me alone now. All right, let me pick my arrow tool. All right, so you can see that we have a move from here to here, which retraces all the way back to here, all right? So what Scott Carney and Larry Pasivento were actually doing is they are testing what kind of retracement is really constituting a reversal, all right? So what they will now do is they will now pick their Fibonacci tool, all right? They want to measure. Remember, in each and every profession that we do in life, we've got tools, okay? We've got tools. If you are a carpenter, you have a tape rule, all right? If you are a mechanic, you have probably the meter that you're going to use to measure the voltage of one thing to the other. If you are a doctor, you have a stethoscope, all right? If you are a nurse, you have syringe needles or whatever that you have. So in whatever profession that you do, you definitely have a tool. So our own tool as a trader that we use to measure, because we are measuring distance with which things move from one place to the other, is called Fibonacci tool. All right. So with that Fibonacci tool, what you want to do with it is you want to start from the beginning of the move. And this is what Larry Pasavento and Scott Carney were doing in the 70s. All right. They are putting Fibonacci tools on this. Okay. From the beginning of the move to the end of the move. Okay. All right. So once they put that on top of it like that, in this case, just because we are measuring from high to low, all right, we start our Fibonacci tool from the beginning to that. But at the same time, you can actually reverse that Fibonacci tool, which means all the figures that you have here, you can turn it around by reversing the Fibonacci tool. But the best way to draw your Fibonacci is from the high to low if price is moving up. High to low if price is moving up. But if price is moving down, you're going to do it from low to high. So in this case, we are trying to measure the kind of retracement that we have over here. So what we can see is this. Glaringly, let me show you what we can see. So if I want to reverse my Fibonacci tool, and the reason why we reverse is this. You see, like when you have a move from here to here, this is the beginning of the move. This is the end of the move. So the beginning of the move is going to be 0, right? Let me delete this horizontal tool now. It has finished what it's doing for now, because you now know what levels that we are playing with. All right. So the beginning of the move starts at 0. Okay. The end of the move will be, let me take all this away from there for you. All right, so the end of the move will be 1. So you can look at this as well as 0 to 100, okay? But you can look at this as 0 to 1. So what this means is when the move moves from here to here, right? This is a complete whole length of move, okay? So you have a move from here to here. This is about a 23% of that move. Let me do this for you so that you can see. All right. So if you measure the move, this same move from 0 to 1 that we're seeing over here, let me readjust this. You see, like my 1, don't worry about my Fib 2. Let me in fact change it to the one that is less visible for now. All right, so I'm going to use a target profit 1. Okay. All right, so what this is saying to us is this: the move, which is from 0, and you can play with your tools. Don't be afraid to play with your tool. All right, don't be afraid to play with your tool. Let's reverse these settings. Reverse. All right. So your move from 0, you can see that 0 to here. It's a whole move, 0 to 1. Okay. When that price moves from here to here, all right, of this whole move down, this whole move from here to here, this is literally showing us that the whole move from here to here is about 38.2%. All right. So when the same move from here to here moves from here to here, we can measure that, wow, this is 61% of the entire move. Okay. So when the move goes from here to here, this is like 100% of the whole entire move. Okay. So if I change this over now, and I want you to see what Fibonacci is doing little by little, so that you can get to understand this and you can come and teach me again. All right. So what this now means is this. Before we go, let's reverse this quickly. Right. So the move again from here to here, instead of us looking at the 38.2 from here to here, this is about 23% of the move. Okay. At the same time, from here to here of that whole move, that's about 38.2% of the move, 50% of the move, 61% of the move, 78.6% of the move, 88.6% of the move, and a whole 100% of the whole entire move. Is that clear at all? Don't worry, we'll get to that aspect. All right. It's a little bit of an advanced Fib tool, but we'll get to that aspect. All right, so what that tends to mean now is this. So if you now want to measure, if you want to measure this move, okay, if you want to measure the length of this move in this O move, all you have to do now is the length of this move from here to here, all right, can never be 23% of the entire move, okay? So what that will mean is this. That will now means you go to your harmonic and then you click reverse, all right? So if you want to compare the length of this move to the entire move, you can see that we retrace back almost 88.6% or 0.886% of that move. And that's where we stop, okay? That is where this retracement stop. Okay, so when Scott Carney and Larry Pasavento see a thing like that, oh, wow, sometimes you can even stop at 88.6, all right? 88.6 constitute a particular Fibonacci number, all right? All the numbers that are here, they constitute a different type of Fibonacci numbers, advanced, but yeah, that's what they literally constitute. All right, so when they see that, what they tend to do again now is this. Now I'll now move forward quickly because you're now getting the points that this level here now is 88.6 of this whole move, okay? So what they do again is this. They now take from here, all right, which is a O move again to here. So now they want to measure the retracement of this move that comes all the way down to there, all right? So what they tend to do again is this. They put another Fibonacci tool, just measuring and playing about, all right? And then they realize that they move from here to here. It's another 100% of a move. That's the way that they look at it. They are making everything work in harmony, all right? B, are you understanding me? Hey, what's up, Yomi? What's going on with you? You good? Cool.
I'm fine.
All right. Pleased to have you around. All right. So again, what Scott Carney and Larry Pasavento was doing is they're looking at this leg. All right. And then what they tend to do is they put on another tool, Fibonacci tool, to see where this ends. Okay. So when you look at the move from here, this is 0 to 100, right? The next thing that you're going to see is you're going to see a retracement that comes all the way down to here. But where does that retracement actually end? Does it end at 61.8? No, because if this move begins from here to here, this is a 100% of the move, right? So this means from here to here, this is about 23% of the move. From here to here, this is about 38.2% of the move. From here to here, this is about 50%, 61%, 78.6%, 88.6, and a whole move of 100%. This particular move here. All right. And that will constitute another leg in the harmonics. Then we saw a retracement that comes back down to here. But this retracement is not exactly at 61.8 because what you tend to do now is when you reverse your fib, you come right here, you click on your fib, go to settings, reverse it, and then what you tend to have is the actual move. If this is 0 and the whole of this move is 100%, you can now see clearly that if price even retrace all the way down, it's retraced down to here at a 23% level, 23.6% level, or 0.236 level. If the moves retrace all the way down to here of the whole entire move, if the whole entire move is 100, it's just about 38.2% retracement of this entire move. All right, so that's another Fibonacci on this particular leg. All right, so the next thing they now tend to do is they now start to look at, okay, if we have a move from here to here and retrace all the way down to here, now we want to see possibility of an extension of this move, possibility of an extension of this move from here to here, and that extension, you see, is coming in at a particular level, which is going to be somewhere over here, right? This is where we end the week on dollar index, all right? So whether now, one second, whether now this is a real harmonic pattern that we've got here or not, right? Everything now depends on the ratio of each and every retracement from here to here, and then retracements, the retracement that we got from here to here, all right? And then the extension of this level from here to here, which we go all the way up. So that is the reason why we now have a measure like this. We will now say that the beginning of our move starts at X, all right? And then that particular X is the beginning of the move. We look at certain areas to find our X. We'll get into that, all right? The second part of our move now will be what we label as A, all right? This is just label. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, all right? So now we know that when we have a move from X to A, we are looking for the retracement of that move, all right, at a particular level, which is going to be B. So what I'm going to do for B now is this. I'm going to move this Fibonacci tool. Now that, are you getting my point at all? Are you finding it, is it making sense to you? Is it making sense to you?
Oh, that's fantastic. It is very clear. I'm understanding.
I can hardly hear you. Sorry, can you speak louder? Sorry.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Speak louder still.
All right. Yes, it's fantastic. I can understand you. It's so clear now because it was all over the place. And now the way you are teaching it, it seems so easy.
Right. No problems. No problems. That's what I want you to, and that's the clarity that I want you to have, because what we're going to be doing going forward is this. I've got my...
I'm lost. I'm actually lost because I don't get any. I don't really understand what you're talking about in terms of these fibs. Did you reverse the fib? Are you making the fibs upside down? I don't really understand because the way I use my fib is not this way. I'm not getting a consult. If you can just go through it again, I'm fine. You know.
All right. So I'm gonna go through it again for you so that you can understand. All right. So this fib, it's not just an ordinary fib. The main fib is from this level. You see the one. All right, so let's do this. Let me bring it up here so that you can see my fib clearly. Then once you see the fib clearly, then you'll be able to understand. All right, so the actual fib is here. All right, so that is the whole length of the fib. All right, so every other thing that you're seeing on this fib, right, it's measuring the extension to the upside, it's measuring the projection, it's measuring the extension and the projection to the upside. So the whole length of the fib that you need to pay attention to will be from 0, all right, to 1. That's the whole length of the fib here, all right. So the extension of the fib that you're going to have here and the retracement of the fib will be something like this. So say, for example, we have your usual 61.8%. All right, so this move here from here to here is 100%, and that usual retracement that you look for is 61.8%, which is over there, right?
Yeah, which means the actual length of the impulse of the fib is actually an impulse in the market, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
what we're doing is we're just breaking it down. We haven't put a sense behind it at all.
Okay.
So we are just breaking down the move. We have not even put this is the name of the pattern or put a sense behind it. I'm just showing the move from the beginning, all right, to the end, and then the retracement, all right, the first retracement, all right, which is going to now give us, this is going to be, say, for example, if this is the beginning of the move, if this is the beginning of the move, this is going to be our X right there, okay? If this is the where the move goes to, this is going to be our A right here, all right? And then what we are looking for is this X to A, the retracement to any of this Fibonacci number is the beginning of our harmonic. So let's assume that we have a retracement down to the first one, which every harmonic begins at least with, which is 38.2, all right? So we have a retracement down to 38.2, okay? The next thing that we will see is we can possibly now have this retracement that we are seeing. It can give us a move that goes above the A in some cases, say, for example, to 100 or 113 above here, all right? So that one now, which is going to be an extension of this OX to A move, that's one particular pattern forming, but you won't know the name of the pattern until you see the retracement that comes back to this B. The moment you are seeing this B, or wherever it retraces back to, that is the beginning of the name of the harmonic pattern. I'm coming. All right, so can everybody see where the B retraces back to? The move from here to here and then the retracement, can you see where it retraces back to? Can you see this Fibonacci number?
The X to A.
Sorry?
The X to A impulse.
So if you can speak a little bit louder, it would be good. 38.2.
That's the 38.2. The market
Exactly.
retraced back to the 38.2.
Exactly. So we have a retracement back to 38.2. So the moment we start to see the move from X to A, which retraces back to 38.2, we start to form a name behind our harmonic pattern, because there's certain harmonic pattern that begins from 38.2, okay? So that 38.2 will be the beginning of which name are we going to give our harmonic pattern. In fact, you can have a move that goes all the way down to 50 as well. That will give us, that will now be shaping the name of our harmonic pattern to another thing entirely, all right? When you now have a move that goes, say, for example, to 61.8, right? So which means the B now is now at 61.8. That will give us another name for harmonic pattern, okay? If you have a move that goes all the way down to 78.6, that will give us another name for harmonic pattern. And likewise, a name for our harmonic pattern if it retraces back to 88.6, okay? Yeah, so the B leg identifies the name of the pattern, all right? The B leg identifies the name of the pattern. Majority of the harmonic pattern shares also of different kind of the beginning, which is always the 38.2, all right? That's where it usually begins from. And the ones that share 38.2 is almost all of them share 38.2. But if you now have a move that goes all the way down to 50, all right, that is in that harmonic pattern right there, starts with another name entirely. Don't worry about this D leg for now, all right, which we're going to get into. But if you have an harmonic pattern that starts, that retraces back to 50, all right, that is another name for that pattern. And the name of the harmonic pattern that retraces back to 50 is called a BAT pattern, okay? It's called a BAT pattern, all right? So that is the name of the harmonic pattern that starts from 38.2, all right, and then retraces back to 50%, all right? So that is called a BAT pattern, all right? So when you now have a move that is
I have
retracing,
a question.
Go on.
You just said something about the B leg.
Yes, please.
Being, the BAT pattern being the retracement at 50.
Go on.
But you equally said the BAT pattern is also a retracement at 38.2. So which one exactly?
So don't get confused. Like I said, if you listen to me clearly, I said all the harmonic patterns share the same ratio beginning from 38.2. All right. So this is the beginning of all harmonic pattern. Okay. 38.2. So we don't really have an harmonic pattern that starts at 23.6 more than so, but obviously every harmonic pattern that we look into, that we are discussing in our charts group, the Mastery the Markets, start from 38.2, okay?
Okay.
All right, so the BAT pattern, you can have a BAT pattern that comes between 38.2 to 50. That's what I mean.
Okay.
All right, so you can now have, say for example now, let's have a look at a real life example. 1 second, please. All right, so say for example, let's look at here, for example. So if I have, if I'm picking my harmonic pattern and I come from here to here, which is my X to A, and then I see a retracement back to here, this a little bit higher. 1 second. Let's look for another one. All right, so if I have this particular pattern that comes from this, right, to there. This is almost at 50, okay? Especially when you consider the body, okay? So when you see this, can you see the 0.50 level right there? Can you see that level?
Bola, do you do it from body to body or wick to wick?
All right, so good questions. The body is essential, right? The wick, you just don't want the wick to close into the next pattern. And the next pattern, we're going to go into that one as at the same time as well. We're going to go into that one at the same time as well. So hold on, let me redraw this because this is what you are saying.
Well, sorry, a quick question, sorry.
Yeah.
I actually don't respect the fact that we need to use the harmonic tools to draw your patterns, because the harmonic fib tools actually fakes people out and make them choose invalid patterns and looks like a pattern. When I want to spot patterns, I actually want to put my fibs down there immediately. Like, instead of I want to do a bad pattern now, the fib should actually tells, I mean, the Fibonacci tool should actually tell where your B leg is, where your C leg is, and where your D leg is, not the harmonic tools. You know what I'm trying to talk, like, not the harmonic tools ratio.
I agree with what you're saying. I agree.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Good. I mean, your question is good if you get where I'm coming from. But one thing that I need you to understand that is clear at the same time is this. There's always also a different way of looking at any particular issues, okay? When I started to look at this issue, right, I started to look at it with the real Fibonacci tools. Bear with me a second, please. I started to look at it with a Fibonacci tools, okay? If you have a newbie, all right, you cannot underestimate the fact that things are just going to continue to advance, whether we like it or not. You may not like this tool, but that doesn't mean that it's not constituting a positive force in the community as well, which I kind of agree with your part. You may want to do things in a very old school manner, all right? Some people, it might be easy for them to use this tool. So we will try to teach both of the tools as well, if you get where I'm coming from. So we're not going to ignore the fact that we can use the fib.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, sir. I agree with you. But looking at the fib, looking at the harmonic table now, the AX to D leg is indicating 0.912. And for bar pattern, we don't have the 0.912 for bar pattern.
All right. So what I want you to understand is this. This does not necessarily have to constitute to an harmonic. We are just still citing an example. So by the time that we get to the details of the ratios, right, now we will be able to, because one thing I want you to understand is this. Let me show you this clearly. If I take this particular tool, right, if I'm using this tool, say for example, and I put it down to X to A, and I put it down to
Excuse me, sir, please, could you pick your tool again? All right, I'm going to pick it again. Just bear with me a second. The problem that I'm going to have if I don't put it somewhere is going to be all over the place, okay? That's the reason why I just do a little bit of a completion just for the teaching purpose. Do you get where I'm coming from? Because for the bar pattern, what we're going to be looking for, it's not going to be that particular ratio, but one thing I want you to understand is this: the market is not perfect. There's no one that's even perfect in the market. Yeah, it is recorded. There's no one that's perfect in the market. We might be looking at specific ratio, but for the mere fact that price goes beyond that ratio for certain little ticks doesn't mean that you wouldn't still take the trade, because all you are looking for in that ratio is a reaction which can still come into fruition. So I'll go back to it. I'm going to show you where I picked the tool. 1 second, all right? And then we do it both in traditional way, and then at the same time we do it using the tools. But we will do it in the right ratio, okay? We will do it in the right ratio, and then we will now look at certain factors that mitigate against all those right ratios. So if we're picking an harmonic tool, you come to this level, you can see on the trading view, you've got this particular toolbox zone, okay? So the same tool, which says the XABCD pattern, all right, you can just click on it and pick it. But what I want to use this tool for, I will show you, which is, I just want to show you a retracement level to about 50% or a retracement level to about 38.2. That's all I'm looking for. But I wish I can do that without, all right, let me just, all right. So this is what I wanted to do. I want to find a retracement level that will show you between 38.2 to 50%, all right? So I didn't quite get the exact 50%, but I'll still look for another one in this case. 1 second. So what I'm seeing again is this, and this is a mess that the tool is going to be creating, but notwithstanding, let's move forward and so that we can move forward to this level. All right, so this is what I'm saying again. So I'm looking at this move from here to here, and I'm looking to here. So that's not exactly 50. We can leave that alone. Let's look for another one. We want to see something that will constitute a perfect bat that Yomi is looking for in the marketplace. All right, 1 second.
I actually don't predict the back. Okay, go on.
Sorry?
No, go on. Sorry, don't worry.
All right, so I'm going to look back again.
But can I say something?
Go on.
The bat pattern you were showing just now that was above the 88.6. I was at 90, I think 0.9.
All right.
It could be a valid bat pattern. You know, typically sometimes even if it gets to the 88.6, sometimes it may give some drawdown and move a bit up.
Actually, a valid pattern. That pattern is a valid pattern. You don't get my point. He got my point already. So don't get me wrong. The pattern he showed is a valid pattern. I'm only trying to say like I don't like the I don't like the harmonic tool. You know, you understand, to spot the patterns. Like, because I don't use them. You get what I'm trying to say?
Right. So let me bring the clarification to it. This is what Yomi is looking for. All right, it's looking for X to A. That's going to say, for example, stop right there. Okay, that's not going to come. Say, for example, we're talking about, and the reason why it's laying emphasis on that, right? The reason why it's laying emphasis on that is just because it's not coming across clearly is because we are looking at each ratio, all right? We are looking at harmonic patterns that will give us a very positive each ratio, all right? So we're going to be looking at something like this. I'm coming. 1 second. Excuse my, right. So sometimes it's hard to find. I actually want to get this to 88.6. All right. So what we are now saying is this: if you have a pattern, all right, and I'll now do the same thing over here now so that you can see what he's saying and what everyone is saying. And then 1 second, please. Right. So what he is now saying is this: that even in fact, if you're going to use the tool, yeah, and it's saying that the pattern is right, say you pick up the tools from here to here, right, and you find your exact maybe 50%. In this case, we didn't get precisely 50%, but this is what he's trying to show you. And then price comes down like that. Okay, remember, you cannot have anything that is perfect in life. Even our life is not even perfect, right? Let me see whether I can. This is almost perfect. This is almost perfect. So this is what he is saying, that your ratio from X to A, right, hitting that particular B level, all right, should have a particular standard to the ratio, all right? And then your D as well needs to be at this particular level, 88.6, not even 7. Bear with me a second. Someone is saying something. Just bear with me a second, please. The A to C is above its 8.6 and below 1.10. Then what pattern is it? All right. So we get to everything. Right. So accordingly, right, this would have been the perfect scenario of an harmonic pattern. All right. But if you're using the tool, where the confusion sets in for most students is when they are using the tool, all right, this is what he is saying. You will then be forming your own pattern, which is not really valid, all right? You will be going on like this, that everything has to be to perfection. Say, for example, you pick your X, which ended at that particular A, and then you come to here to pick your, well, some people will even actually do it like this. They don't care whether the B level makes sense or not, and then they will come to here at the same time. They don't care whether this level makes sense or not, and then they will come to here and just put that one there. The moment they see that drop, they believe that they've got in an harmonic pattern. No, that is not what we are teaching. That is not how it should be done. All right. It may look right, but that's not an harmonic pattern right there. If you get where I'm coming from, harmonic has got to do with specific ratio. Fair enough. And that's the reason why I started my teaching using, using the actual tool. And that's the reason why I'm saying to you that if you're a carpenter, right, you're going to have a tape rule, all right? I didn't say that, and I'm saying to you that when it comes to harmonic pattern, our tool is the Fibonacci tool, okay? And this particular tool measures specific ratios, all right, for each of the pattern that we have. And that is where we are getting into. For you to understand that specific ratios, all right, so that when you draw your harmonic next time, all right. So if you now have in the group some people that just don't have a clear understanding of what harmonic is, how are you supposed to teach them? Mr. Daniel.
You said what? How am I supposed to teach them?
If you have some people in this group, because when I first of all asked the first question that I asked, some people said they've seen harmonic all over the place, but they just don't understand what it is. This group, this teaching is not for people who have the understanding alone. Because if you have the understanding, and we have some people in the group that the group is not beneficial to, and we have some people in the group that does not even know where to start taking the trades, then at the end of the day, what we are doing it's just going to be for ourselves alone. How about the new people that's joining us? Nobody's taking on that challenge to show them what we do, how we do it, so that they can be able to do it as well. So they will look at our group and be like, okay, we are coming into this group. This is all they do. We don't even have a clear understanding of how they do it, just because we want to look for trade for the next week. If we've got people in the group, if I'm the only one looking for trades into next week, right? And I don't have time to look for that particular trade, and I was able to show you how to look for trades for next week, don't you think you'll be able to benefit from my trade next week, even if you don't have time?
You're right. I never go against that. I never said you're wrong. What I'm trying to preach is like, I was not actually understanding the point, when I joined this webinar. But as you explained, I'm clear. And when I'm talking about the two, it was actually what I figured out, and that you already clarified that. And your question, you said, if I'm to teach someone that doesn't know anything about harmonic, the very first thing I teach is fibs, which is what you're actually doing. I teach fibs. Then when you understand the word aspect of the fibs, then harmonic is so clear. Harmonic is just like something chart patterns, like everybody wants to treat chart patterns, and chart patterns is actually harmonic. So if you can be able to spot the falling wedge, the rising wedge, the symmetrical triangle, then harmonic should be nothing. Like they should be the simplest thing you should ever want to form. So the fib is actually key and the tool that you need. So you're right, you're treating the fibs first, and that is what I actually do. I'm not against that.
No, but I mean, what I saw at 11:14 is we want to draw our patterns to get our future prediction. Exactly, that's what we want to do. But I realize that there's quite a lot of people here as well that is lagging behind. When you look at our group, we don't want it to be a junk group. We don't want everybody to just come in and putting on the charts, and then people are not actually trading. They are not actually benefiting from it. You know what I mean? So when you come into a session like this, you check first of all whether everyone is an experienced or an intermediate trader. If you realize that you've got more newbies that doesn't have a clear understanding, that teaching won't even go a long way, because at the end of the day, when we finish this and say, for example, we just do back pattern alone, then I've given quite a lot of people to start going and be looking for back pattern in the market, if you get where I'm coming from. So a lot of people will be able to look into back pattern. They will see your own charts. They will respect it. They will be able to make good use of it. You know what I mean? I don't really want to start teaching from the beginning as well, but I have to respect the fact that we've got new people joining us every day. We don't want to be stuck at 2,300. We know where we start from. But each and every new people that joins us, someone have to take the responsibility of initiating them into the group. And that's all we're doing. That's what Forex Writer do. That's what Steven do. But each and every time, we have to remember that people are coming in newly. And when people are coming in newly, you just don't expect them to get it. It's impossible. They won't just get it, because I've got quite a lot of people over here just now that's made positive comment that, wow, it's now just getting clearer. All right. So bear with me if I don't want, if I didn't get to look into future as much as I wanted to look into. I really want to do that. Aside with dollar index so that I can see the harmonics on dollar index. But I can literally just come here now and say to myself that, okay, whether, and do you know the funniest part of everything? I've got one of my mentor named Derek, all right? He started teaching us harmonic. I'm talking about back in the days, say about 2008, 2009, right? So I was following Derek, but I couldn't even get a single clue of what Derek would be saying, because Derek does not care to go back or to give the newbies the chance to understand it. So we just come onto the charts and just put the pattern onto it, and you don't even have a clue. You know what I mean? But if I have a clue now of what he's doing, right? If you have a clue of how it's done, you can literally see a newbie that will just come in, and you will be able to show them as well. God.
Okay,
Right. Leave that alone.
Continue with what you're doing.
I'm not going to be going backward and going backward. We're going to have sense to this. All right. So going forward.
Sorry,
right?
I want to ask a
question.
I think that question I asked, that question of the future, that was from me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was from me. Because I think...
So you were not the one answering when I was talking?
No, the question about the idea of going through the weekly chart, and then from there we get our future prediction.
Yeah, so you are the one that I'm directing so it was someone else that was talking a while ago.
I chatted it up, I wrote it up, I wasn't the person that was talking. So I just came to clarify, I'm just calling to clarify that initially I was thinking that whenever you join your harmonics or you join your Fib, you should first go to the weekly chart or probably the daily chart to get the proper as a support and resistance before we go to the hour or the 4-hour chart. So I think I'm a bit confused right now. Or is it whenever you want to draw a Fib, you just go straight to 4-hour chart, or should first go to our weekly or daily? I don't really know.
Right. He's actually teaching you what the market is going to do. It's not what the market is going to be predicting. He's not going through what the market is going to do next week. He's teaching the new bean. I got what he's trying to say. Like, he's teaching the new bean how to make use of the Fib. So you just want to sit down and watch how to make use of the Fib. Yeah, you're learning. That is actually what Mr. Bola is doing. Teaching us how to make use of the Fib. So the new beans could actually be on your standard because you already know how to make use of the Fib. You get what I'm trying to say?
Okay. Now I understand.
Let me go back. The main reason for this class today is this, yeah? Is for us to, let me show you what we're doing, okay? This is what we would have done for this class. Say, for example, I'm looking at this. Flip. All right, so let's look for another. Okay, so this is what we would have been doing today, and I want everybody to let me know whether it makes sense for them or not. So we would have come here and possibly do this. And possibly look for that, and I would have said to you, possibly go through this, and then according to the retracement that we see over here, all right, I would have said to you that, okay, if you're using the cheat sheet, this is how to use the cheat sheet. When you come here, 1 second. Right. So when you come here, you actually see a particular pattern that says possibly bearish butterfly, okay? That
the X to A is ending at 78.6. Okay, so this is almost like 78.6, but it's not exactly 78.6. I'm just doing this as an illustration. Yeah, so please don't bite me if I'm not putting it at the right particular ratio, right? So I'll be saying the B level needs to be at 78.6. Okay, and I'll be saying the X to D is going to be at it's going to be at 1.27. Bear me a second. It's going to be at 1.27 at least to 1.41. All right, so I would have done that, okay? And then we would have just checked to see whether these areas that we pick, whether it's making sense or not. And then this would have been our entry for the new week, okay? And then we would have just put our Fibonacci tools from here to here. From C to D, for example, I'll just come here and say to myself that let me change it to the one that I use for profit target or target profit. Okay. 1 second. Bear me a second, please. Just hold on 1 second. Right. So 1 second. So I would have just come here as well and say to you, let me reverse this fib so that we can get our first targets, which is going to be 38.2. So I would have just said to you that what you are looking for is you are looking for a drop to here, okay? And then you want to put your stop here. That's why I would have just said that, yeah, for Euro Yen, this is what we are looking for. Okay, so I'll leave that. All right, so when I leave that, most probably you can copy that if you understand what it means. If you don't understand what it means, then you're going to be like, okay, now look at all these technicians. They want to run me mad. I don't even have a single clue what he has just said. Because what I'll say to you, this is your entry. The entry is 7128.41. I'll say this is your possibly the stop loss, the maximum stop loss that you can consider. And then I'll say that this is your target TP1. And then I'll say this is TP2. Let's move on. All right. Then I'll say let's move on. And then we move on. Say, for example, we can look into anything. Say, for example, we look into New Zealand USD. All right. So I'll come here. I'll tell you, we are just looking for M shape or we are looking for whatever shape. Okay. But one thing I now want you to understand is this. So say, for example, we now look over here. Look at this. We come here, we look for this particular pattern, all right? Whether you understand why I choose that place or not, we look for this zone. We look for this zone. Please don't bite me if it's not at the right exact zone. I'm coming. I just want to adjust this because this can be to the body and it can be to the wick. So if this is to the body or to the wick, we say, okay, this is a Gatling pattern right here. And then we're looking for 78.6. And then we are looking for another 1.27, which we're gonna do. Sorry, bear me a second. Something like that. And all I'm gonna do is say to you that, sorry. So the tool is now going gaga. All right. So all I'm going to do to you is say to you that now we have our D points. Take your entry right there, okay? If you take your entry, put your fib on top of it from D to C for your target. You are looking for a bullish harmonic. This is going to be your target right here. 1 second. All right. And this is going to be your stop right here. Okay. All right. So we are offering a channel like this. This is what goes on in our channel.
And to be deadly honest with you, let me be practical with you right now, right? We have that group. There's so many things going on in our group, but we need to use it effectively. We need to use it efficiently, all right? It's not about the people who understand what they are doing and drawing the pattern alone, all right? If we really want to grow, everybody should be growing together. If we really want to grow, everybody on this call should be able to take on to the newbies and say that, okay, this is the rules, this is how to do it. Well, we tend to have so many messages popping in all the time, different messages, some that's even got to do with other things that will be coming in all the time. And I realized that, okay, it's not everybody that's learning, you know, but when we can have a time like this and we come together, you know what I mean, and then we can learn like this, then it's literally going to start to make sense. So what I'm going to do now is this. I want to break it down, yeah? And when I break it down, I'm just going to hand over the mic to Yomi. I'm going to let him do some explanation so that we can bring some spice into this. You know what I mean? So that we can bring some spice into the... Yomi, would you be able to access my system if I give you... 1 second. Give me a second.
Hello, Bala.
Yeah, go on.
Hello, Bala.
I'm listening.
Yeah, sorry to butt in here. There's something that I'm really concerned about.
Talk to me.
What's the relationship between harmonics and trend?
All right. So if you want us to break that one down now, right? Let me briefly explain this so that you can understand where harmonic come into play. All right?
Yeah. Let me before you go, let me just shed a little light. Sometimes the trend could be upward.
Sometimes what? Sorry?
The trend could be an upward trend.
Okay.
But you can get an harmonic pattern where your D leg says you should
But
sell.
you can get an harmonic pattern that is what?
Which your D leg will say you should sell, which means you have to come down.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. The trend is up and the harmonic pattern is giving you
a
sell, yeah.
Yes. So how do you relate? How do you explain that? I need clarification on that.
So how do we do what? Sorry?
How do you explain that?
All right, good question. I in fact like that question. If you've watched some of my videos before, right? I don't just teach harmonic, okay? What I actually teach is for you to understand where do you find harmonics in the chart, especially where do you find valid harmonics in the chart, all right? Because at the end of the day, valid harmonics gives a significant amount of results than TP1, okay? If harmonic is a reversal pattern, yeah, we should be having some harmonic that will now possibly lead to this particular drop, I'm saying. But this is the beginning. This is the root of all evil. Let me break it down for you so that you can have a clue and understand. All right, so the trend is up. Harmonic all begins from, there's a particular, so if the trend is up like that, right? That's what you are saying. And in a trending market like that, so the trend is up.
Can I say something?
Sorry?
Can I answer that question? Sorry.
Go on. Who is talking this time? Is it the same?
No, this is Yomi.
Sorry? Right,
this is Yomi. I want to answer the question he asked.
You want to answer the question that he asked?
Yeah, this is Yomi. This is Yomi.
All right, go on, answer that question, then I'll buttress it up as well.
Looking at the market, if you look at your chart, what do you have? You can see we move in zigzag. So a trend is to the upside, the market is up. Does that mean that the market is not going to come down? No. Harmonics are a reversal pattern and can also be a continuation pattern. If the market is trending to the upside and you have an harmonic forming telling you that this pattern, I mean that the price is likely to reverse, it's telling you that the market is likely to give you another wave. We move in waves. The market moves in waves. Uptrend and downtrend, uptrend and downtrend. The fact that you are able to be in the buy does not mean that someone else is not going to be able to be in the sell, because we move in waves. So the market is in an uptrend and you have an harmonic formation telling you that, okay, sell. Yeah, you definitely want to take the sell if all your ratios for the harmonics are valid. Even if you lose the trade, you know you took the right trade because harmonics are chart patterns. I don't know if I answered that question for you.
I get a little bit of that. But there are cases where the harmonics could be coming down. The chart could be coming down, but the trend is still an upward trend.
Yeah.
The trend, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. The harmonics,
yeah, that means, you know, okay, now listen.
Down, but the trend is still an upward trend. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah, listen now. If you have an impulse in the market, do we need to have a retracement or not?
Of course, there could be retracement.
If the trend is going to the upside, and the harmonic is formed, telling you that the market is likely to come down, it's actually telling you that the market is likely to retrace of the impulse they give.
Okay.
You got me?
All right. So, but there's a possibility that retracement may not make the trend to be downward.
Exactly, and that is why you have TPs.
Okay. So it could retrace to a certain level, but it could retrace to a certain level, but that doesn't mean it becomes a downtrend.
I answered your question. I said harmonics are reversal patterns, and they could. Harmonics are reversal patterns, and they could also be a continuation pattern. So when you're spotting an harmonic, you definitely want to know where the harmonic is from, and that is why I trade differently.
Okay.
When I get an harmonic, I want to know the type of harmonic I'm trading.
Okay.
A butterfly or a crab pattern tend to be a strong reversal patterns.
Okay, a butterfly and a crab.
Yes. Okay. A Gartley pattern is tend to be a continuation pattern.
Continuation. I think saying it this way makes more sense. Okay.
But they could, like, don't get me wrong. I told you earlier that they could also be a reversal pattern. But when you have a good Gartley pattern or a good butterfly pattern or crab pattern, you definitely want to know that a good butterfly pattern and crab pattern, because it's already extended and the market has overextended to the last fib, which is a 1.618. You definitely don't want to know that the market is likely to reverse. And when
to reverse fully,
like want to get like 200 pips, you know what I'm trying to say? Talk less of the bar pattern, or you know.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I just needed that clarification. I needed that.
All right. So, are you satisfied in a way?
Yeah.
All right.
But
so
you can still go ahead.
What I want to add to it is this, right? Harmonic basically is a reversal pattern, right? And at the same time, it can be a continuation pattern. But everything depends on the particular wave or the particular impulse that the market is actually giving at that particular point in time. Say, for example, each and every price tends to reach exhaustion, whether we like it or not. Each and every trend, a trend is a trend until it bends. You know what I mean? Each and every trend tend to reach a point whereby it's now going to start to come down like this, okay? So that's the reason why some people consider things like wave theory. That's the reason why some people consider things like Dow theory or Elliott wave. But you see, like the thing is this: instead of us to be complicating things, right? Instead of us to be complicating issues, all we need to understand is the core beauty of our Fibonacci tools, okay? If we understand the core beauty of our Fibonacci tools, because our harmonic at the same time uses Fibonacci's to be able to make itself relevant. All right, so look at this particular trend now. Forget about whether it's on a 4-hour chart or whether it's on a weekly chart or whether it's on a daily chart, okay? One thing that you can see purely on this chart is you can see a move that comes down from ear to ear, which gives about 461 pips, okay? It would be very lovely for you to be able to say to yourself that, okay, you've been following this move, and this particular move that you've been following, you are able to catch that 461 pips. And that is one of the things that Yomi is explaining as well. You can have some harmonic pattern. Yeah. All right. Exactly. And that's the reason why we're going through Fibonacci deep like that. You can have some harmonic pattern, all right, that depends on the part of the trend where they are. That's the impacts that they're going to give in the market.
So say for example now, when you look at this particular, let's chart this up Fibonacci wise, okay? All right, so with your Fibonacci tools, you can literally have your tool from here to here. All right. So, and then things will become much more clearer. All right. And you can be spotting the harmonic on the way as well. Forget about every other names that they call everything, whether it is Elliott or it is wave theory or it is price behavior. All you want to understand is a market is a cycle, right? And let me show you this quickly. Market moves in a cycle like this.
That is SpongeBob game.
Sorry?
Your school should have polished it.
Sorry, say that again. I can hardly hear you. All right. Can you hear me though?
Bola, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead and say something.
Can you just leave all the questions and comments for a session later? Just teach. Once you've taught for a while, then you can start answering questions so that there's no break in what you are doing. Just teach. Anybody that has comments should wait till the comments time. So just teach, let it flow. Then when you get to a particular session, you can now ask for questions and then look at the comments and then answer them.
All right.
So that it can flow.
Right. I appreciate that as well. Thank you. So what I'm trying to say to you is this. Look at this particular market. For some time, you can see the uptrend in the market, okay? And then suddenly you get to a point whereby the market starts to bend. All right. And then you have the break of that particular trend. All right. And when you have the break of the trend, then the market starts to move in this direction. Okay. All right. So there's a possibility. All right. This is where you want to be looking for your harmonics. All right. There's a possibility if you are looking for continuation in the market. Okay. You can see an harmonic that will give you a possibility of a M shape that the D is gonna finish here. 1 second, please. Right. So that the D is just gonna finish there, and then this is gonna be a continuation pattern. Okay, this is gonna be a continuation pattern. Yeah. But what tends to happen is this. What Yomi was saying and what we are all saying together is this. All right. So in this case, this particular harmonic pattern gives you a continuation pattern, right? If it occurs, right. So there's a noisy thing that's going on somewhere. 1 second. Let me look for it. Right. Right. So what I'm trying to say is this. If you have this particular harmonic pattern that occurs between this wave to this wave, is going to lead to a continuation of this particular wave, okay? And that will be a continuation pattern. And at the same time, you can have an harmonic that occurs in any of this wave here, all right? That can be like this. Say, for example, so we can have another harmonic pattern like this. It can be a bad pattern. It can be a Gatly pattern. But the ones that are overextended, like Yomi has said, this is not the particular one that I'm looking for. Give me a second. I'm looking for this. Right. It can be a pattern like that now starts to cause the drop that we are seeing in the market. So this as well can be the actual reversal pattern of this entire trend, okay? So everything depends on where the harmonic occurs in the market and how deep you understand when you are expecting a reversal in the market. So if I go on showing you this, 1 second, please. Target profit. All right. So what I want to show you is this. If we take this particular fib from the low to the high, just for teaching purpose, right? From the low to the high, what we are expecting is certain retracement, okay? And the kind of retracement that we are expecting, it goes a long way. You can have a very, very small retracement, which is going to be, pay attention to this place, please. Let me take this off. All right, so based on this, we start from this level to that particular level. We are just looking at this area, all right? So you can have a retracement, and let me be tracing it so that you can see where we are going. So this is the impulsive move, okay? And then we have the corrective move. We use a different color, all right? So that we can just know that that's our correction, okay? Let me choose something. All right, so that's our correction. And at this particular correction, we corrected back to 50% retracement. All right, so if the market is in a trending mode, okay, if the market is in a trending mode, usually what we're going to be looking for is this. The first thing that we saw is this move up, which we are not expecting, all right? Say, for example, it's a surprise. We are not even expecting because price was going down. And suddenly we have a move up, which give us this particular retracement, all right? As soon as this retracement is established, all right, a lot of people, a lot of traders are looking for possibility of where they can take this to, okay, where they can take this to, which is going to be a target, all right? So if I reverse my fib, 1 second, if I reverse my fib, they can then use the fib again to look for targets, all right? And this is what Yomi was explaining the other time as well, all right? They can use the fib to look for targets. And the kind of target that they're going to be looking for, everything depends on where the fib falls in, all right? And the one target that we look for majority of the time that is so glaring, all right, is this 1.61 Fibonacci target, all right? So some people, a lot of traders, a lot of technicians, once they've seen a move that gives them the 100% move and a retracement down to 50, they don't care about all this drawdown, all the way this is going to be coming down, okay? They would have put their position in the market, okay, and they are looking for the ultimate target as 1.618. This is not magic, all right? This is what the market respects, okay? The market respects all those levels, and that's the reason why it works. There's a reason why it works as well, according to the sacred geometry, according to the law of perpetuation. There's so many reasons why it works that I don't want to go into details about it. I've taught that before. But there's a reason why Fibonacci works. It's a natural sequence of occurrence, all right, of how things get on. When you look at the market is a combined strength of human reflection. It's a combined strength of human emotion. It's a combined strength. Even it's that same emotion that we put into algorithm. It's that same way that we think that we put into another trading system that is just executing itself based on our command, all right? So what I'm now trying to say to you is when you see a move from year to year, some set of traders already, they are capitalizing on possibility of getting that particular target. They are waiting for that, such that when they get that, right, they know that they are expecting a reversal at that particular level based on the amount of orders that would have gone through to here. But the problem with majority of our newbies is, would they be able to say that they've actually hit a particular important support or a particular important Fibonacci level right here, all right? Say, for example, we now have this. we are looking at a zone, okay? If we are looking at a zone, initially we've got a move down to here before, all right? But when we complete this complete leg, we have a move down there again. So you can say easily to yourself that this is a support zone because price stops over here, all right? The next thing that you can do with that support zone is this. And look at this. You can now start to look at it backwards, okay? Backwards. Please remember, right, we are just using a 4-hour chart for illustration. You can do the same on a weekly chart. In fact, when you can identify zones like this on a weekly chart, it tends to go a very long way in making your trades, making your trades successful more than anything else. When you can identify it on a weekly level, it makes your trade much more successful. So why do you have to go back sometimes? The reason why you have to go back is traders tend to do the same thing over and over again. You can see that when price comes to this level, that's where we pick up and then price starts to rise. When price comes to this level, that's where we pick up and price starts to rise. And then when you now have the same level in this particular zone, what you are trying to see or what you are seeing glaringly, right, is you are back at that particular zone, and that is where you are expecting potential move upward, okay? Especially if that is a support, if that end up supporting the price. So that can be a potential for reversal, which is going to move the price forward, all right? All right, so going forward a little bit, so once you now get this Fib level of 1.618, okay, that's right there, right, can constitute to where people take their profit off the table, okay? Once they take the profit off the table, or once they start to take profit, okay, you can tend to be seeing a couple of things that's going to be happening in that zone. Whether there's going to be continuation of this move up, you don't know. Whether there's going to be an outright reversal, you don't know. But for the mere fact that you have your Fibonacci tool, and for the mere fact that you are sensing that this may be a trend, and the only way you can sense that this may be a trend is by you employing your first tool of trend line. So you start to follow this market all the way up. Say, for example, at this particular level, that's where you would have followed. Let me delete this. All right, so you don't know what's going to happen, but you've seen this and you start to follow the market up, all right? So let's assume you don't even see all this happening, but what you tend to see is you now see that you've seen a relationship at 1.618. You just draw your trend line to that particular zone, okay? And what you are doing with your trend line is you are looking carefully for possibility of, are we going to have price that's going to come back to this trend line and reject all the way up? Are we going to have price that's going to come back to this trend line and reject all the way up? Again, when we hit that 1.618 level, that's when we find that rejection, and then it hits our trend line right here, right? And then that's where price tends to pick up again. So that's the essence of now combining. Now, Harmonic has not even come into play, but you are combining your Fib, all right, with a trend line, okay? And that trend line bounce can lead to another possibility of a new trade for you. All right, so where does your Harmonic come into play, all right, for continuation, if this is a trend, okay? So for the mere fact that you've seen the first move up and you've seen this retracement down, okay? And then you've actually hit the target, all right? Now you're going to be looking for possibility for whether you can see a continuation in terms of, it can be in terms of Harmonic, it can be in terms of any other reversal pattern. So at this particular zone right now, you can then start to use, say for example, you can start to employ your Harmonic tools, all right? Now you are thinking of, we have a reversal, but this is looking like a trend to me. Let me go back to it so that you can see. And you can have an idea of what you're going to be looking for, all right? So look at this move up, all right? Then you have a retracement down, all right, to this level, all right? That retracement is back at an area of support, okay? It's not even back at an area of support. It's closer to a trend line, making 2 and 3 things. So you have a support down here, 1. You have a trend line closer to that support, making 2, all right? And then you have a Fibonacci retracement level at 50%, one of the expected retracement level, all right? So if you have a retracement down to, say, for example, 23%, which is going to be the same thing as 78.6%, that is a shallow retracement level, okay? That's a shallow retracement level. What that means is price is going to now take off very strongly at a shallow retracement level. What that means again is this move up is very strong, okay? It's not willing to give back anything, and price is willing to move all the way higher, all right? 1 second. What would that time be? Give a range, please. Sorry, I didn't.
He was asking about the time for questions. He was asking about it.
Okay, I didn't realize that. All right. So using this your tool of Fibonacci, combining with support and resistance and trend line, you can begin to visualize what is coming in the future. All right. So say for example now, if we don't know what is going to happen in the future, but we are looking at it, we are using what has happened before to train ourselves, and then you come down here, say for example, you pick your Harmonic Pattern tools, you take it all the way up at that B level, which we are explaining and we didn't get to explain in full. It's not giving us a complete 61.8, which will be another harmonic pattern, okay? It's giving us a different pattern, which is not exactly 61.8. And then if it stopped right here where it stopped, okay? And then we extend this all the way up, there's a particular ratio that we're going to be looking for. So we can have an harmonic pattern over here right now, all right? Which when we compare the ratio, it can be a valid pattern. Bear with me a second, please. Let me delete this one as well. All right. So it can be a valid pattern. And what are we going to be considering? The first thing we're going to be considering I don't understand your question. If you can rephrase it, please. I don't understand that question, but if you can rephrase it, then I'll be able to look into it. But what I'm trying, this is just for teaching purpose. So when you have a move back down from that 1.618, okay? And then you have a retracement back to a B level, all right? And then you are seeing this particular pattern coming up, all right? What you're going to be looking for a bat pattern literally will be 88.6. The same bat pattern that we are talking of, that will be 88.6. So if care is not taken, if you're looking for a reversal in an uptrending market, okay, and then you've put this harmonic on, and then you are thinking to yourself, maybe we can have an harmonic pattern right there, and then the first pattern that you're going to be looking at, which is going to have a retracement at 50, or from the low to high, in between itself, I see a major drop and a major impulse. So I know from where to I draw the fibs. I'm going to look into that, yeah? Just take this as an example, as an illustration, okay? That doesn't mean that it's an actual harmonic pattern. Right. And the kind of illustration that I even want to give you is this. It doesn't mean that you're going to find harmonic on every particular move that you are seeing in the market. And that's why we look for it. And that's why we try our best to just be best in looking for it, because it doesn't mean that every move that you see in the market will necessarily have to constitute to harmonic. That doesn't mean that that's the only thing that you can trade. You can trade so many other things as well, all right? So because you can't find harmonic on a chart doesn't mean that that is the end of it, because majority of the time, look at this. Majority of the time, if you are having a trending market, okay, which means you are having a move that is coming from here to here. When you look at this particular move, this is an expansion move, okay? And this particular expansion move is leading to a contraction, a small contraction like that, okay? A small contraction like that. I'm going to change the color to that, and that will start to, no problems, you know what I mean? That will start to mean the beginning of a trend. That will start to mean the beginning of a trend. And then obviously, because you have a big impulsive move and then you have a contraction, all right, that will be the beginning of a trend. The next phase of that trend, we go all the way down to 1.618. All right, so that now will be a blue color. Let's assume that's a blue color, all right? Then now again, you're gonna be looking for possibility of contraction, all right? You're gonna be looking for possibility of contraction, because the thing about the market is this, it just doesn't trend 100% all the time. One second, please. Give me a second. You want to get the phone? Get the phone, please. I'm talking to people and they can't even. All right. So sorry about that. Right. So going forward, what I really want to show you, as simple as it can be, all right, and as much as I wouldn't want the distraction, is I want you to understand that the price moves in wave, okay? Just because the price moves in wave, when you are having change of trend from one particular trend to the other, you can now see the way that that wave is being exhibited. So what I'm now saying to you in essence is this. Look at this place, right? We have a move that goes all the way down to here, all right? And this is the way that I normally teach my harmonic class. First of all, you identify the first trend that you are seeing in the market before the new trend, okay? So we have a first downtrend and now we are seeing a new uptrend, all right? So if we now go back to the real market condition right here now, all right? The current market condition that we are seeing is, if you identify this trend again, all right? Just because you can identify two parts of the trend, one part there and another part there that is the trend line, now you are seeing a new trend coming up, all right? So this new trend is no more a downtrend, is it? Just because we've had the break of that particular trend line, it's no more a downtrend, all right? So where I would have started this class will be, we will consider the initial trend, okay? So that when we consider the initial trend, when that initial trend got broken, possibly get broken from a trend line situation and then start to face a new trend, then that's when we will start to employ our Fibonacci tools, all right? So what I'm gonna do is this, to break this down and make it much more clearer and be able to answer the question in a much more sensible manner that will make life a lot more easier for everybody rather than congesting things together, is this. You look at this chart, all right? Going forward now, we are looking at this chart. What are we actually looking for? We are looking for possibility of what is going to happen over the next new week, okay? So the first thing that we're going to consider is this. When we look at our charts and we put a trend line on top of it, we can determine what kind of trend that we are in, all right? And it's so glaring that, okay, we've broken this particular trend line and then we are moving up, isn't it? And then we are moving up like that, all right? So while we are moving up like that, all sorts of different kind of things can happen, all right? So in this move up that you're seeing, what kind of harmonic are you gonna be looking for? That is gonna be my question to you. Just because you've identified a new trend, all right? What kind of harmonic are you gonna be looking for?
because this will now make it much more sensible and much more clearer. All right, so we have a new trend. Now you're going to be looking for a bullish harmonics. All right, now you're going to be looking for a bullish harmonic if you want your thing to go in line with the trend. And I think this is now going to answer the question that the gentleman asked, to make it in line with the trend. You want to trade in line with the trend, right? Because the trend is your friend, okay? And when you're trading in line with the trend because the trend is your friend, you have to be able to identify what trend that you are on. And the best way to identify what trend that you are on is for you to be able to employ your trend line tools. So you employ the trend line tools, you are looking for a new trend. The new trend that you are looking for is going to be an uptrend, and that particular uptrend that you are looking for, you're going to be looking for bullish harmonics. And the bullish harmonics that you're going to be looking for, you're going to be coming down here and be looking for what part of the chart is going to be an impulsive move and what part of the chart is going to be a correction move. All right. So when you identify the part of the chart that is impulsive, all right, then you're going to be looking for your harmonic on the corrective phase of the chart, because after the correction will lead to a new trend direction. Is it making any sense at all? All right, so if I haven't get any answer, let's now look at this, right? Back to what we are looking at. We are looking at this particular move up right here, yeah? All right, thank you. So the previous trend before that move was this, okay? That was the previous trend, all right? That was the previous major trend. In fact, we can even say that the previous trend before that move was this, okay? And we had the break, and then we had another little trend right there. But just because everything is sitting under the major trend, all right? Just because everything is sitting under this major trend, all right, when this major trend breaks again, it keeps giving us further confirmation that we are looking for. So when this trend got broken, let me enlarge it a little bit so that we can see it clearly, so that we can know where to look for harmonics and how to look for harmonics, all right? So we have our trend line that goes from this point to that point and all the way down, right? So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, okay? And then eventually we got broken out of that particular point. But before all that, we are seeing some intermediate trend inside as well, okay? We are seeing some intermediate trend inside as well. All right, so by the time we start to employ our harmonic tools, or by the time we start to employ our Fibonacci, every move before we break this major trend line, we're going to be looking at them as a reason for us to sell, all right? So until we break this trend line now, that is when everything got changed. And when everything got changed, what we're going to be following is this, the new trend, all right? So the new trend would have started from here all the way, right, till we encounter that break, okay? So once we encounter the break somewhere around there, and we saw a full break, right? We now know fully well that there's no two ways about it. This is going to be pushing up. So you identify your trend first of all. Once you identify your trend, the next thing that you want to identify is you want to be looking for all bullish harmonic that's going to be in that trend, okay? You want to be looking for all bullish harmonics that's going to be in that trend. All right, so when you are looking for bullish harmonics in that trend, now you need to understand what harmonics you're going to be looking for. You need to understand your harmonic ratio. And that is the beginning that we were teaching at first. Because now, if you don't know the harmonic ratios that you're going to be looking for, if you don't know the harmonic trend and the harmonic pattern that you're going to be looking for, how are you going to be able to look for that harmonic in this? That's why the fact that it's now clear at this stage that, okay, I want to be looking for harmonic when everything is coming down, which is going to be the corrective wave. And then obviously that's when I'll be looking for possibility of taking this up. Say for example, now we might be looking for harmonic over here. We might even start from there to there into that particular retracement into there. All right. And that retracement is almost 50. And then we are looking for possibility of 88.6. So if I put it right there, does that mean that that's a valid harmonic? No, it's not, because we didn't even get that retracement over there. All right, so we didn't get the retracement. Let's take it off.
that didn't give us the right harmonic that we are looking for. It might be something else. It might be this. It might be possibility of this. So the ratio is one thing that I want to go into as well, so that we can have a clear understanding of what the ratios are and how we're going to be treating the ratios going forward. So the next thing that you would do is that if you are finding it difficult to now find harmonic on a bigger time frame for your corrective move, because each and every time, let's delve into this a little bit. Just because you have your trend line, you can equally know that these are the corrective move. Let's have a look at them. So I'm going to color that red. Okay. These are corrections. I'm going to color it red. Okay. So you can have a very simple correction and you can have a very deep correction, which is a complex correction. This is even a correction as well. Why is this a correction? Because we are still above this major trend line, all right, that is broken to give us that uptrend. But what we've breached is our current trend line that's holding price, all right? So we've breached this particular trend line, right? There's nothing perfect in the market, so we can have a breach, all right? So when we breach that, does that mean that the trend has now fully changed? No. Does it mean that we'll be considering selling? Yes, definitely we'll be considering selling, because this can start to sell all the way back down like that. But for one particular reason, we weren't lucky enough to see that sell coming through. This is another correction in the market, all right? And this is another correction in the market, all right? And this is a major correction in the market, okay? So how do you now take advantage of this major correction, all right? So everything begins from when the trend begins and how the trend gets to exhaust, all right? And this is what you're going to be looking at. Let me now show it to you much more clearer. All right, so when our trend begins and then we break this trend line and then we start to move up, all right, some technicians prefer to use the beginning of the trend for the start of the Fibonacci, because that really shows the last low that leads to the last high, all right? So say, for example, if I want to really measure a real Fibonacci here now, I can say to myself that from this particular high, all right, to this particular low, all right, I wouldn't really want to choose anything in between. Okay, so that's the reason why a lot of people consider the beginning of the trend, which would have seen, which will still be, I don't want you to get it complicated. This is the beginning of this whole move up, right? All right, although the beginning of each and every trend will start from the old trend, all right, before the wave resets and then start to change into another direction. But the beginning we start from the old downward trend. And when that old downward trend get exhausted, then we have a new trend evolving, all right? So once this new trend evolves and then gets to that particular high and we saw that massive drop, if we tend to see a massive drop like that into an area of 50% Fibonacci retracement, what can you consider in terms of harmonic? What type of harmonic are you going to be looking at on a bigger scale? That's a question for you. And I want the answer because we've been talking about that particular harmonic all the time. Okay? Today, that's one harmonic pattern that we focus on. All right, so you can now see that your harmonic can come from all sorts of different kind of angle. All right, so that's to 54 right there, say for example, and then you can have a move up all the way from 38 point something again, or to 61.8 again, all right? And then you can have a move up to even close to 1 again, all right? Before you now see that particular drop that you are looking for. But for this particular illustration, all right, our B pattern is not the exact place we are putting. That's not a B pattern. This is going to be our B pattern. So this harmonic that I'm drawing is just for illustration purpose. It's wrong, all right? The right harmonic pattern that is forming on this right now, on the bigger time frame is this. 1 second, please. I always forget to change my tool. Is look at this impulsive move up as well in one go, okay? When you see the retracement back down to a level like this, which is the deepest part of the retracement, not this one, we're not going to consider this anymore, all right, because we have another deeper retracement, okay? Not this one, we're not going to consider this anymore because this is even deeper than this, all right? So the most deepest part of the retracement is going to be our D portion of that harmonic, all right, that is forming right now. So our harmonic would have been this from here to here, all right, to that particular eye, then to this zone, okay? And then we're going to be looking for possibility of where it's going to end. We can put it at 88.6, for example. We can put it at, and these are all the various harmonic levels that we have as well. So you can have 88.6. In fact, you can put it at 78.86, all right? If it possibly end there, you never know where the C point is going to be until it starts to show. But in this case, let's assume this as C point, okay? Our C point is not what really matters to us more than our D point. So our D point for a particular harmonic that's occurring at 61.8 level, right, which hasn't actually reached the 78.6 level, is going to be what? It's going to be a Gartley pattern, and a Gartley pattern D point is always ending at 78.6. Somewhere around there. All right. So somewhere around there. So this would have been a pattern that we are looking for next, which is going to be C to D. All right. So if this is C to D, now pay attention to this right now. Let's assume we see have this trend line right here, right? It's a big trend line that goes down like that, okay? And then we see how this harmonic playing up, possibly price comes back down to this area, okay? All right, and we are looking for a big move back up. In this case, I'm coming, let me bring things to perspective like that, all right. All right, so look at this trend going down, all right? Look at this trend going down that get violated right there, and then look at a big harmonic pattern that's forming, although we are not sure whether this is going to be C to D leg until it gets to that D. If it doesn't get to D, then there's nothing we can do. We are just playing around with this harmonic pattern, despite the fact that it's a valid Gartley pattern that we've put right here, all right? And this valid Gartley pattern, we're going to be looking for possibility of it to come to fruition when price comes there, all right? Does it mean that price have to stop here exactly? No. Price can come right to this level and even go past it a little bit. But the moment we saw a big rejection coming back up, now we know that we are having a huge possibility for this move, all right? For this move to continue. It can continue all the way up, all right? But the main question is this: we have some harmonic pattern that can give you a big drop, like Yomi have explained before he left, right? Which is going to be those big harmonic pattern like crab and butterfly pattern, because they extend and they extend for so long, okay? But those patterns can occur in 5-minute charts, okay? They can occur in 15-minute charts. They can occur in 30-minute charts. They can occur in 1-hour charts, in 4-hour charts, in 1-week charts, 1-day charts, and obviously 1-month chart. So the one that occurs on a weekly chart, all right, if it gets to that particular end on a weekly chart, that is the most powerful one that will give you a significant drop. The one that occurs on a daily chart will be very powerful as well. That will give you a significant drop. But that significant drop does not mean that it has to now occur in 1 day. It can start to occur within, it can take about 10 weeks to occur, the full pattern. It can take about, if it's on daily charts that you find that particular harmonic pattern, it can take about, say, for example, about 20 days, 30 days for it to actually occur. to full fruition, even when you find a pattern on daily. All right. So as a newbie or as a new trader that's even putting excessive amount of risk in the market, right? The moment you see that the harmonic pattern is unfolding and it has hit its entry, and obviously probably it has started to move in your direction, you will have this psychological feeling that I don't want to lose money. This thing can literally start to turn around. Say, for example, you can have that kind of a feeling because when you see a retracement on a daily, it's going to be a huge retracement. If you get where I'm coming from, it's going to be a huge retracement. So say, for example, you've made maybe about £500 right about now, and then you saw a retracement of about £400 out of that, your £500. It would be very hard for you to be thinking to yourself that, am I not going to be, is this not going to be getting into a losing position, right? So that the whole of the 500 I've made before, suddenly now 400 has depleted out of it. I'm now looking at 100. What am I going to do? You might be thinking to yourself, let me close this position. And suddenly as you close the position, things picked up again and start to move in your direction, or you start biting yourself. Those are what those kind of big patterns can do for you. Then now, what you now tend to do is you now start to have a looking at it on a 15 minutes time frame, all right? Because when you look at it on a 15 minutes time frame, it doesn't take long before the entry gets hit, number one. Not even only that, it doesn't take time for you to realize the amount of pips that you're going to realize out of the market. It might be 20 pips, it might be 30 pips, it might be 50 pips, it might be any pips, all right? So what I want to do for us quickly is to look at different patterns that we have, look at the B retracement level, okay, which is what we were doing before, so that we can understand how this pattern evolves, all right? And then we can get to make good use of them. All right, so the dollar index was one chart that we are considering before. I don't think we need any picture from here immediately. So if you give me the chance to quickly delete this, all right, so that we can start all over quickly again. So when we look at the dollar index on monthly, yeah, it's being recorded, sir. It's being recorded. All right. So say, for example, now, when you're looking at this dollar index, okay, please, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we didn't get to have any break at all. Should we have any break? Should we just take a 5 or 10 minutes break? All right, because I don't want your brain to be so congested. So let's take a 10 minutes break, okay? And then we'll come and start newly afresh, and then probably we'll be able to consolidate something that's sensible today. All right, so while we are taking that break, I'll be getting the ratios together for you, and then we just take a 10 minutes break. If you, for example, if you have to leave, if you are joining us for the first time, let me leave some contact details so that in case you want to get in touch or you want to discuss about other things that we do, such as funding and stuff, we take a 10 minutes break, and then we can obviously continue after that 10-minute break so that we can stretch. You know, even I always like to go on and go on and go on. I can refresh my brain. And this is our Telegram group, as you know, but in case you don't have the link and you want someone else to join in, right, so if you want to get funding, you can contact us through that Telegram group. And this is going to be for everyone. If you want to see where we are demonstrating our work, and obviously you can come in right here. You can see that as well.
All right. And then at the same time, if you want to, yeah, and you can follow me on Instagram, like, so I'm gonna come back financial markets trader. I'm gonna come back at exactly 12:33. Wow, no. To be honest, I've got a meeting at 1 o'clock. I'm gonna be putting this on a hold till after the meeting, and I wasn't even checking the time. All right. Yeah. I'm going to be putting this on a hold till after the meeting. I've got a 1 o'clock meeting. I'm sorry that it has to stop abruptly because I'm just about to even delve into some new things. But yeah, notwithstanding, we will be able to take it on again very soon. You know how we do. Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, I've got a 1 o'clock meeting. I really need to leave. I'm sorry I wasn't watching the time. Please bear with me. Hopefully I will be able to come back after the meeting later on tonight, and then we do finalization of this class. So I'm gonna be leaving for now. All right. I'm sorry we have to stop abruptly like that. I wasn't checking my time at all. Well, I hope it's of value to you. Some people get to ask their questions. The ones that didn't get to ask questions, I'm sorry I couldn't get to.
Let me tell you the kind of tires that I
please
just
bear with me.
I want either Dunlop, Michelin, Bridgestone, Tokyo, Continental, or Pirelli.
All right, so that's not for us. Well, this session is recorded as well. Obviously, yeah, I will definitely do that as well. So let me go now. I'll see you guys later on. Yeah, take note of the.
I don't want the one you give me one.
Take note of the OZ code of all the contact details that you might need, and I'll see you soon. You can join the YouTube channel as well if you want to see more of what we do. And then you'll be able to see how we catch the pace on news. There's so much that we do anyway, and the people that follow us definitely see what we do. I think last week we catch over 500 and something pips way early in the week in the market, and then yeah, sorry, that's for everyone. If I'm coming back tonight, probably will be much later on, say around 11, 12 o'clock or so. Yeah, if I'm coming back tonight. Tomorrow is my daughter's birthday, so yeah, I might be able to do 1 or 2 hour session and really do what I wanted to do in terms of harmonics. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining in. I do genuinely appreciate your time. I do genuinely appreciate your efforts in getting there. All right. I'll see you soon. I'm gonna get this recording out very soon as well. Thank you. No problems.